So, Hazbin Hotel is finally almost upon us, and to honor it, I'm just gonna make some wild predictions and guesses on what each episode will be about. I'm doing this based off of nothing but gifs and vibes. Most of these will be wrong. A weird amount of them might be spot on, but it's all in good fun, so try not to take any of this too seriously. As 5 years after the pilot dropped on YouTube, nearly 8-ish when the project was first teased, the internet phenomena is finally getting its grand debut, so we might as well have fun with it. I'm basically expecting Hazbin Hotel to be BoJack Horseman the musical. I'm gonna be wrecked in every way that matters, especially since they're dropping half the season day one, unless you paid for the first two early, which is me. Because of course I did. But on to the guessing. Now, for starters, we have Overture. This is definitely gonna be where we're gonna get the happy day in hell, aka the teaser with the disappearing girlfriend. Overture is gonna be exactly what it says on the tin. It's Charlie trying to pitch her idea to redeem sinners, as rehabilitation is way better than a yearly mass murder. But if we're being honest, we all know how this is gonna go. Poorly. Charlie's gonna be on cloud 9 about it, and the angels, specifically Adam, are all gonna be massive pricks, laughing her out of the room at the mere idea that sinners can somehow be redeemed, with him shooting down the idea just on sight, or at least he would if he could stop laughing and do it. Like, best case scenario here, Adam is gonna agree to it as a joke. Yeah, and he'll say sure, but he really thinks it's impossible, and he doesn't plan on honoring any agreement to it. There's also another version of this where Adam just says no, and Charlie tries to redeem a sinner as a proof of concept, but since angels seem to be just as nasty as any sinner, I wouldn't put it past them to go back on a deal. Inevitably, Charlie's gonna announce her new hotel, cue pilot where they laugh her out of the room again, cue sad song, the Never Give Up song. Angel Dust will be not an asshole for 1 second, giving Charlie hope that one of these fuckers can get their life together. But really, the big make or break for this episode is just gonna be how much of it are they gonna recap the pilot. As yeah, I feel like a lot, probably most people will have watched the pilot before watching episode 1 of Hazbin. So they wouldn't recap all of it, but there's definitely an opportunity to do some of the stuff over again, like making the deal with Alistair. But there's definitely a chance to end the episode with Alistair being at the front door and ready to make a deal, as he's apparently gonna be the main focus of the next episode, but we're not entirely sure. Like, this could be me just being conspiratorial, but they could absolutely in the teaser just have added in Alistair in post, along with Husk's Bar and Nifty. But that does seem like too much work in an announcement that's a little bit jank as it is. So I do think that they're actually gonna start this with just Alistair already being there. They'll reference like, yeah, we made this deal, X, Y, and Z exposition. But I do think there's gonna be a chance that there's gonna be another announcement to hell itself that, yeah, we're doing this hotel thing, only to get crickets again. But personally, I just like the symmetry of Charlie trying to do her pitch to a guy who will laugh his ass off at it, only for a different asshole to show up and offer her help. And really, I'm just saying that Alistair being at the door is just a great stinger for the next episode, Radio Killed the Video Star. Now, I think the plot for this one is just gonna be in the title. Alistair is gonna be one of the big focuses, and since there's a guy who just happens to look like he plays videos, Vox, I think we know who's gonna be killed here. Or really just who's gonna be fighting each other. As we already know from a lot of early concept art and comics, one of the early ideas was that there's a bit of a rivalry between Vox and Alistair. Vox prides himself as being with the times, having all the new tech and gadgets, while Alistair keeps it old school like his radio. So if Alistair were to announce he's throwing his weight behind the hotel, then most importantly, try and air a commercial on TV, Vox could take this as a personal insult, as it would be Alistair having the gall of making a commercial on his turf, the television. So Vox, going full petty, will refuse to have the commercial air, resulting in Charlie and Alistair having to deal with the situation, which is gonna be a whole ass nightmare. Now, this is Vox, so we know he's gonna be related to the V's, which is Valentino and the other one. Likely we'll get the introduction to them as well. Yes, I know her name was Velvet, please calm down. With Valentino probably being the bigger presence of the two, as we see Angel Dust filming a bad porno, with the same teaser then ending with him filming a bad commercial. So there's a possibility that Angel Dust will be heavily involved here as well, as maybe his face rights are being taken up at this point, so Valentino will also have a very personal beef on him doing commercials for a different company. I fully expect Vox to be put in his place by this point. Alistair's gonna win because I doubt the man can lose at this point, but I think the unintended consequences of all this is gonna be stepping on a lot of Overlord's toes, resulting in a lot of people who just treat this place as a joke suddenly taking interest. So things are gonna get a lot harder for everyone else, and potentially forcing Angel Dust into a nightmare situation where he's stuck between actually getting doing better or acting as a mole and betraying the hotel for Valentino, before hopefully standing up to him and seeking help for real rather than free room and board. Then moving on, episode 3 is going to be scrambled eggs. We've already seen that Mr. Egg Serpentious is in the commercial, so in this hypothetical, probably wrong guess of the season, he's already going to have gotten his ass beat and joined the hotel, like in episode 2 or 1, with this potentially being a character spotlight for him, or spotlight on how actually difficult it is to reform sinners, as so much energy is going to be wasted on getting people to know about the hotel and to not be taken as a joke. Now would be about the right time to actually try and put the idea into practice. I kind of expect the title to just be kind of mostly a fun name. I don't think Serpentious is going to be super relevant. More than anything else, he'll probably just be the star pupil who is still a fuck up, but whose willingness to try is going to irritate the other guest, aka Angel Dust. The Snake Boy is a bit of a goof. He's a Saturday morning cartoon villain, so while he can be dumb, I don't think he's the worst person here, but he will be the one who's just, the lessons, they don't stick. But complicating all of this is the fact that one of Charlie's dad's work buddies, one of the upper demon nobility, will be making an appearance. So now the hotel has to get its act together, prove that they can kind of do this, and their only help is Serpentious, and that is just gonna be it's gonna be funny but awful for everyone. Though the hotel will pass inspection. I think this episode's gonna be a little bit more low-key, but it'll also have a ton of setup, with the exact specifics being things we don't have the info to guess right now. Maybe something about Vaggie secretly being an angel because her X-eye patch matches the Exterminators. Next, we got Masquerade. Now, for this one, I have no idea. There's no hints, no concrete details or character guesses in the title. All we have for this episode is a possible shot from the episode. But the thing is, I don't really trust IMDb. This says it's from Amazon specifically, but I don't know if this is from Amazon or was given by Amazon, so it is official. But just based on the one image that we have, Husk and Angel Dust will be bonding over being cynical, jaded assholes, but I also think that will be kind of just the B plot. Vag and Charlie could be tearing up the masquerade ball that they got invited to by the rich bitch. You have one shot of everyone that could be described as their formal attire, so maybe there's a party going on at the Hazbin Hotel, but since it's not really masquerade attire, we can't really say for certain. Though that sailor suit, yeah, he's rocking it. There could always just be multiple parties in a single season, but this is episode 4, so having a big dramatic confrontation at the end would be a decent way to cap off the halfway point of the season, or as everyone who didn't pay will call it, the premiere. I would like to think that Husk is going to be the one to help lift Angel Dust up out of whatever depression he's finding himself in, to open up, or to start caring about people that aren't just cherry bomb, to actually start not letting the lessons in, or just internalizing the idea that yes, he can maybe get better. If the image is true, these two are definitely gonna bond, but again, that might be just the B plot. But now to the easy one. Dad beat dad. Okay, this is just the really easy one. Charlie's gonna be working through a little bit of her daddy issues. It's gonna be a little father-daughter day at work. Meanwhile, the boys are gonna be terrified by Nifty at home. Now, we don't know enough about Charlie and her dad's relationship to really make any easy guesses outside just like the nebulous daddy issues. With the pilot, we kind of get the idea that he disapproves of this whole Hazbin Hotel thing, that he doesn't really think that she is fully living up to the Morningstar name and is not the devil that he thinks she should be. But she's probably been making waves at this point, so he's taking at least a slight interest in what her life is like right now. So I imagine this is going to be a lot of backstory for Charlie, some insight into how she relates to her dad, with him venting that he doesn't really think that sinners can be redeemed, so they might as well be ruling in hell. They do seem to be vibing together by the end as they are singing a song, but we don't know if that's going to end with the disappointment or they're just going to end with full closure, which don't really think that they'll fully bury the hatchet that early or clean up all the drama between the two, as season 2 is a-coming, but we also saw how quickly the Fizz Blitz beef got squashed, so there's room to imagine that they could get on the same page and patch things up, or at the very least start talking again after a season of avoiding each other. But the real chaos starts with the next episode, Welcome to Heaven. Now, the demons could actually be going to heaven in this episode to maybe have some FaceTime with God, who might be the angel lady here, but I'm gonna make a bold call. They're not. Instead, somebody's gonna die. Probably Husk, cause math. As out of this entire cast, who could actually pass away? I mean, we have basically the characters that are important, the people that matter but are expendable, and everyone else. And out of that expendable category, Angel too much character drama to just get ridden off him. Alistair's one of the main mascots of the series. I don't see him really going this early, not to mention too powerful to like really let anything kill him. So that really just brings down to Husk and Nifty. And Nifty, I'm not sure how important she's gonna be, but I haven't seen anything in the promotional material to imply she's gonna be super relevant or super close to any character, so her death won't be able to hit that hard. Meanwhile, Husk has been shown to be growing closer to Angel Dust, so there is someone, at least, who would be very sad if he were to pass. And if we're going for a big Angels versus Demons finale, which it seems to be implying that we will, having someone die would be the way to do it, especially if it ends on the question of will he be able to go to heaven or will he just go into nothing. This could always just be a field trip to heaven and the fucked up politics of we're better than you yet somehow worse, but I'm gonna go for the heartbreaking bait and switch, and Cherry Bomb is allegedly also gonna be here. But that's slightly worrying, as if the Husk theory is right, then Angel Dust is gonna be heavily involved in how he goes. But next up we got Hello Rosie. Charlie goes to meet another Overlord and an old pal of Alistair, Husk is probably dead, and everyone is blaming themselves, with nobody really being down for the whole redemption thing for a second, with Charlie getting a pick-me-up by meeting the community in Hell who actually vibe with her message, triggering a bigger movement to be ready to face the Angels who are days away from the next extermination. So this will be the episode where everyone starts maybe coming together, while the show must go on being about everyone rallying to find some way to face the Angels. Now, a Demon vs. Angel war would be awesome, but in a story that centers around redemption, I'm not certain we'd go full turf war between the two sides. More likely, we're gonna be watching the cast rally Hell to put on a show to display how the denizens of Hell can change. Yes, I am ripping this off 100% from Prompocalypse from Kipo. It just feels like the right vibe for Charlie. But while there's a lot of opportunity for change here, Adam will say fuck it and launch the attack, but his boss will be moved and giving the Hazbin system an actual shot at being tried, setting up season 2 for its own wacky shenanigans. But I really do question how the season 1 is gonna end, as on one hand, you don't know if they were promised a season 2 while they were making season 1. It was announced early, but we don't know when that was decided. So season 1 could be kind of a general like, okay, the story could end here, or it could end with the most devastating cliffhanger possible where everything goes wrong and suddenly season 2 is where we have to put all the pieces together. But I'm thinking more it's gonna be celebratory, that they're gonna be like, okay, we fucking got this season made, let's fucking end it on a banger, but we'll just have to wait and see. These are all just my guesses. Most of this will age terribly, minus the first 2 episodes. I am fairly confident we have enough in the trailers for that to be roughly what's gonna happen. But honestly, if I'm strangely close to just one thing, I'm gonna call it a win. And just remember, January 19th on Amazon Prime. Be wary of spoilers though, as January 12th is when the early access drops, and nobody is gonna be chill about it. So if you want to avoid spoilers, get off of Twitter, get off of Reddit, get off Tumblr, just no social media for a solid week. Honestly, you might as well just get off of YouTube, as those clips are gonna be everywhere. But that's my warning, those are my guesses. Please stay safe and happy holidays. Love you all, peace out.